Alright, I will not be reading your tarot cards here, but that apparently is what happens in this movie, and things go wrong. But let's see exactly what happens with IMDb here. When a group of friends recklessly violates the sacred rule of tarot readings, they unknowingly unleash an unspeakable evil trapped within the cursed cards. One by one, they come face to face with fate and end up in a race against death. All right. Don't want to race death. Definitely take it slow. Don't race death. Anyway, so yeah, this is a new movie that recently came out, and really one that kind of avoided me. I really was surprised when I kind of saw this pop up. Didn't know too much about it, where it came from. Hadn't seen too much talk about it, then it just seemed to be here. So, yeah, every once in a while there's one or two that sneak up and in there. So I came across it the other day, so I said, okay, what the hell? The few things I did see, the few people that I did see, kind of mentioned the movie, reviewed the movie, or so forth. It didn't seem to go so well for most of those people. So, I guess I, kind of knew what I was getting into, but I had to see for myself. It was there, and I was like, okay, let's see. So, yeah, maybe I should have read the cards before, or, read the tweets before. The tweets kind of told me, but whatever. Yeah, so, I keep this fairly spoiler free. I don't know that there's, a whole much to spoil. And, that's kind of the unfortunate thing of the film is that, I think as this kind of rolls on, you're just going to be like, well, I've seen a lot of this horror before, and they're just not doing it above anything else and making it any spectacular than any other horror or what's so it just becomes, okay, I've kind of seen this movie done in a different way. And specifically as it kind of goes through, I think a lot of horror fans would probably, who've seen this, it may have already said it, but yeah, it just seems a lot like Final Destination, just done in its own way. Um, I almost cringe at saying Final Destination because, I really like that. Looking forward to seeing what they do next with it, even though, I'm not sure we needed to revisit it. But, that's a different story, different review, and we'll come to that when that comes. But yeah, it kind of, as I'm watching this, kind of gave me the vibes of Final Destination, obviously done in a little bit different way here in its own theme. But yeah, you have a group of young people here. They're having a birthday celebration in this house. I think they Airbnb'd or rented the house, whatever. And they're there doing their party thing and whatever. And then they go on the search of beer because they've run out. And as they're searching this house, they find a locked door. And what do you do when you find a locked door? Of course, you break it down and go in and whatever. And they find a room with all these kind of like artifact-looking things, things that look either creepy or maybe expensive. Look like maybe, hey, that this room was locked. Let's not touch any of this stuff. But of course, they want to touch and go through and all this stuff in this room. Even in a way, this room kind of reminded me of the room in The Conjuring, where they have all those cursed kind of things that don't touch, kind of where they found Annabelle hiding and then they let Annabelle out, and, that didn't end well. So, that room kind of reminded me of that. So, as they're looking through it, I'm like, yeah, okay. So, of course, they find the tarot cards. So, of course, they got to take it upstairs. And, of course, one of the girls kind of knows about tarot and reading the cards and all this stuff. Because why wouldn't she? Because I'm sure lots of you out there have friends that can do this kind of thing and are well versed in it and just happen to find random tarot cards in there and so forth. So yeah, they do a whole reading. Everybody gets a reading. Come all to this grand reading here because we have nothing better to do during a birthday party. We didn't find beer, so we're gonna read some tarot cards. And yeah, soon enough after that, it turns out that, you shouldn't use someone else's deck, and, blah, blah, blah. And obviously, as the movie goes on, you're going to find out more about this deck, and why it's cursed and so forth, and that kind of thing. But, the main point here is that um, everybody gets a reading, and within everybody's reading here, there was kind of a clue to how they're going to die. So one by one, this group of friends starts getting picked off, and then, you know, as the survivors go, they got to figure out, what the hell is going on. They kind of obviously find out that it had to do with the deck, and then they have to figure out, why this deck is cursed, and how they can get out of it. And so, it's kind of that standard, kind of horror that we've seen there. We have a group of young people, they do something they're not supposed to, they get into it, they start dying, and, we got to figure out how we're going to defeat this curse, or how the remaining members are going to stay alive. And we kind of do that thing. So, that's the basics of what is going on here. Again, as it kind of rolls on, you kind of get that kind of Final Destination vibe, as each individual is kind of like, especially the first couple, they're kind of like in their own place, because, the party's over, they've kind of all gone their way, still in communication, but kind of all gone their way. And, they're doing their thing, and then something weird kind of happens, and they stumble upon, and then before you know it, a mysterious death has taken. There's something there that kills them. So, overall, in a way, let me see how I can explain this best. Like, even though I've kind of hinted at, we've seen a lot of this horror in before, obviously, and as you watch it, and being tied with Final Edition, but I kind of liked the idea of the tarot cards and what they do there, because basically, it is, I guess, the figure or the person, or yeah, I guess creature, whatever you want to call it, within the card that is actually, comes to take each individual. So it's kind of like a different thing that's taking each of these people. So I kind of liked that idea of it. That I liked. Maybe if they had made it less, and I'm not sure how they could have gone about it. I didn't put that much thought into it. But that idea I kind of liked, and I don't know if that's where they started when they came up with the idea for this movie. Like I said, I don't know how you would have redone the movie or did it in a different way, so it wasn't kind of Final Destination like and so similar to other horror movies. But I did like kind of that idea that, you had the tarot cards, and then whatever's within it kind of came out and was the one to kind of kill each individual. So that part, or that idea, I should say, I liked, and I thought that was kind of interesting. But again, too much of the movie is just too much like anything else we've already seen. And then, another problem for the movie is that it's PG-13. And, obviously, must be, focused towards the younger horror audience. And it simply becomes one of those movies that kind of build up to, okay, someone's going to die. And then when that death kind of comes, it's kind of a letdown, because you just don't get the full rated R. And even sometimes rated R doesn't give me as much as I want. So, you just don't get everything that you want there, when the kills come. So that is a little bit disappointing as well. Again, I go back to it was, I don't know what and when it was, but, in the, I guess, maybe early 2000s, or when we had just a lot of these teen movies that came out, or PG-13, movies, and because they just wanted to expand that audience and just have, allow, first of all, I didn't see anybody stopping these kids from going to the movie anyway, even if it was rated R. But just, to have that audience be able to come in and see the movie. So there was just horror movie after horror movie after horror movie that was PG-13, and just when it came time for a death in the movie, it was so depressing because they set up such good possibilities and such a chance to have a really beautiful, good kill, and could have had some blood and guts that we could have all enjoyed, or at least I could have enjoyed, because I enjoy it. And then when it came time, you just didn't see anything, or didn't see enough, or, the old, and then, see the blood, kind of splat on the wall, and come on. So you kind of get that kind of effort here in this movie, that when it comes time to the kills, you just don't get everything you want out of it. So yeah, if I was gonna make changes in this movie, I like I said, I don't know how you could have narrowed it down more to the tarot cards and kind of maybe escaped the Final Destination, kind of feel to the movie. Like I said, and maybe with some thought or whatever, you can kind of find a way to kind of do that. But if they would have done that and then made it rated R or whatever, and made it more bloody and that kind of thing, and shown more of the kills, whatever, maybe I would have liked it more and appreciated it more. But because most of the time I was just thinking, every time somebody was about to be killed, I was kind of, getting that Final Destination vibe. Oh, some mysterious force is making things happen here, and somebody mysteriously is going to die because we're looking over here, and then something over here is going to kill us, or, whatever. I don't know. So, I guess that was a little shame. The ending is okay. I mean, they try to build it up and make it kind of exciting there as they kind of, try to combat whatever is happening here. But, yeah, overall, it's just going to fall to be another movie, and now I'm kind of seeing maybe why I didn't see too much about this before, and definitely the tarot card tweets were ahead that were telling me that this movie was not great. Definitely proved to be true. So, again, I'm not here to try to bash the movie. Like I said, one of the reasons why I kind of just wanted to do this review is to kind of say that I think there was hope there. Like I said, there's an idea there that I wish, maybe was focused, and if they had done maybe something different, maybe we could have had a different outcome. Like I said, if it was rated R, maybe I would have liked it more. Maybe, we could have done, the deaths a little bit different, bigger, bloodier, kind of get into it more. Maybe there would have been some hope for it. But otherwise, yeah, if you haven't seen it, you're watching this review and you're kind of debating about it, I mean, if you want to see it, if you don't, you're probably not missing much. Especially if you've seen Final Destination. And if you, for any reason, have never seen Final Destination, and you're watching this, and you have a choice between this and Final Destination, find Final Destination, go put that on. I'm sure it's streaming somewhere. Any part, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or just don't see this and just wait till the new Final Destination movie comes out. Hopefully they don't mess that up. In anything, just watch any of those movies over this one as well. So with that, I think I'm just gonna give this 1.5 pools of blood. Low score. This is out of 5. But yeah, and it wasn't, it's not one of those watches you're watching, you're just like, why am I watching? I mean, there's tons of that, throw on Amazon, throw on Netflix, you find those kind of things, like, why am I watching this? I've turned off several last week. But, I don't think it was at that pain of a level. But yeah, still, I don't think, it's going to wow you in any, major way here. Especially if you've seen any movie like Final Destination, or like, there's other movies. This is not the only movie that's kind of been like Final Destination, but if you've seen any of those types, it's just not necessary to really go down this road. So with that, horrorsquarereviews.blogspot.com is where you can find all of my reviews, written and video. Definitely mostly video of late, of quite a while now. So definitely like, subscribe, and do all those things that everybody wants you to do. If not, no worries. It is truly okay. Twitter, Facebook, information down below as well. Reach out to me there. You want to talk to me about this movie, other movies, you want to read a tarot reading from me there, feel free to. Use your own deck though. And, the same in the comments section. If you want to throw out the cards and tell me what my future is, please feel free to. Or share your thoughts on the movie, or if there's something you want me to review or talk about horror-wise, feel free to do so in the comments section. And with that, I guess I will catch you on the next review, horror fans.